Yeah. Top tier. We here to elevate. Turn your dreams into reality. Look, the plan's laid out, clear lines, no confusion. The deadline's tight, so there's no room for illusions. Gotta keep the team synced, everybody aligned. Move like a unit, so nobody's left behind. Gotta watch for the clock, but we never let it pressure us. Work steady, always focused, but never rush. Cause if issues come up, then we handle them quick. Fix it, adjust it, already told you we're sick. Results speak for themselves, there ain't no need to brag or boast. We just stay putting the work here that matters most. No fancy words, just facts on a page. Top tier mindset, we're ready to engage. If you haven't made up your mind yet, in that position you will stay. In that position you will stay.
Tackle a really big question. How do you get control over the chaos of AI? We're going to break down a system that's designed to turn that unpredictable AI into a reliable, high-performance tool you can actually master.
All right, let's just dive right in, because I know we've all been there. You're using generative AI, and the results are, well, they're all over the map. One moment it's absolutely genius, and the next it's just completely useless.
So why is it so unpredictable? I mean, you ask it to do something, and one minute it's brilliant, right? And the next, it's spitting out total nonsense or going off on some weird tangent. Why does that happen? Well, the answer is actually a lot simpler than you might think.
So what's the real difference between chaotic AI and consistent AI? The source material makes a fascinating point. It's not about the AI model itself. It's about the structure we give it. See, without any structure, the AI is just guessing. It's drifting, hallucinating, breaking the tone you wanted, all the stuff on the left. But when you provide a solid framework, oh, it stabilizes, it clarifies, it just executes.
Okay, so what is the secret sauce? How do you get those amazing, high-quality results every single time? Well, it all boils down to one simple, powerful idea. You have to apply a deliberate structure.
And this right here, this is a fundamental shift in how you should think about AI. You're not just a passive user, hoping for a good result. No, you are the architect. You're the one in the driver's seat, setting the rules that the AI has to follow.
It's so easy to think of AI as this magical black box, but it's really not. At its core, it's an incredibly powerful pattern prediction engine. It's built to follow your instructions and stay inside the lines you draw for it. So if you want it to be reliable, well, that reliability comes directly from the quality of your instruction.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? Apply structure. But how do we actually do that in a practical way? Well, the source material gives us a foundational blueprint for this, a really simple but powerful framework called CIIO. So CIIO stands for 4 key things. First up, C is for context. This is where you tell the AI the why behind your request, the background, the purpose. Then you've got I for instruction, that's the what, the exact task you needed to do. The next I is for in scope, which is basically you saying, here's what you're allowed to do. And finally, O is for out of scope, the things it should absolutely not do. Think of these as the guardrails. You put these 4 things together and suddenly you have a professional grade prompt.
And here's why this is such a game changer. The CIIO framework directly solves all those unpredictability problems. By giving the AI these 4 elements, it doesn't have to guess anymore. And when it stops guessing, you see a huge drop in those weird hallucinations and a massive boost in quality. It aligns the AI perfectly with what you actually want.
It really just comes down to this. Vague inputs will always lead to unreliable outputs, period. This framework is the antidote. It forces you to be clear, and in turn, that clarity forces the AI to be precise.
So we have the blueprint, the CIIO framework, but we need a specialized tool to apply it consistently, right? This is where the source material introduces a really cool concept. You create your own AI architect, or what they call a prompt engineer.
And I absolutely love this distinction. Think of this thing less like a simple helper you just delegate tasks to, and more like your co-designer. The master architect that helps you draw up the detailed plans for every single thing you want to accomplish.
Essentially, what you're building is a meta tool. It's an AI that you create first, whose only job is to help you write better, clearer instructions for all the other AIs you're going to use. Its entire purpose is to enforce structure and quality.
So let's look at a super common example. We've all done this, haven't we? We give a vague, simple command like research hiring trends and just hope for the best. It's like tossing a message in a bottle out to sea.
So what happens when you do that? Well, without clear instructions, the AI has no choice but to guess. It doesn't know the context, it doesn't know what format you want, it doesn't know your real goal. And that guessing game is exactly why you get back those messy, generic, and often totally useless results.
But what happens when you give that same weak prompt to your prompt engineer? Here's the magic. It doesn't execute the task. Instead, it transforms your vague request into a professional, fully structured CIO prompt. It specifies the depth you need, it might include a risk analysis, and it defines the exact output format. It turns your weak start into a powerful request.
Now, this is so important to understand. The prompt engineer isn't the end goal. It's the essential starting point. It's the solid foundation you're going to use to build a complete, reliable, and interconnected AI system.
And this pyramid illustrates the path to mastery perfectly. You start at the base, right? You master prompt engineering. That foundational skill lets you move up to the next level, creating specialized assistants. And once you have those assistants, you can combine them into powerful automated agent workflows at the very top. Each level just builds on the last.
So once you have your architect, your prompt engineer, you can use it to design an entire team of specialist AIs. You could have one for writing, another for deep research, a third for strategic analysis, and so on. But every single one of them is built on that same solid, structured foundation.
And this right here, this is the ultimate payoff. This whole approach elevates you from just writing these little one-off prompts to designing reliable, reusable AI systems. You stop being a passive consumer of AI, and you start becoming an active creator with it. And that really brings us to the key takeaway from all of this. It leaves you with a question: are you just using AI, or are you designing with it? Because that shift in mindset from a casual user to a deliberate designer is what unlocks the true potential of this technology. It's the difference between hoping for a good result and engineering one.
This is the top tier AI prompting. It's brought to you by Top Tier Project Services. That is my company. Our goal is quite simply to change the face of American education. I myself am a United States Army veteran. I served 14 years. I was Airborne Sapper Jump Master, got that paratrooper love in me. I love living here in El Paso. That's why I am a member of the El Paso Chamber of Commerce, and my company is also an authorized training partner for BMEDU. What we do is overall, we do a lot of different training at Top Tier Project Services. I teach anywhere from agile project management to cloud computing or predictive project management or something tied to like a PMP certifications. This is the three reasons why I tell you this is the best course you could be at today, right? And this is something I say often, like if you hear me, if you meet me out here in El Paso, wherever I'm at, I'll tell you I am the premier AI training provider in El Paso. I think I'm closer to the premier AI training provider in the nation, but I don't have the pull yet to say that. I can say that in El Paso, but these are the three reasons why I can say that. When it comes to AI training, I have a actual receipt of over 250 different individual surveys from different people that I have trained, that I have taught them how to use artificial intelligence in one way, shape, or form, right? That's the number one reason why you should pay attention to what we're doing here and why I'm doing this right now. Two, out of all these people that are nickel and diming, telling you, give me $1,000 and I'll give you a clone, or give me $500 for this, or give me $3,000 for that. Out of all these people that are over here like, give me money, 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 right? And asking it from you individually, the consumer, right? Out of all these people out here, I'm the only one that I know that has not just one, but two different contracts where I teach artificial intelligence. And meaning I get paid to teach artificial intelligence. I just don't take it from you. I don't need your $20 member fees or nothing like that, right? And that's one thing that I always talk about, because if you are really as strong, as well versed in artificial intelligence as you are, if you're a trainer, then how come you don't have any contracts to train on it? Whereas me, myself, I might be a small company, but I have two of those contracts. Another thing, the third thing that I'll tell you of why it separates me from any other AI trained provider, separates top tier from other AI trained providers is me. I have not just one, but two different industry recognized certification in artificial intelligence. I hold the Amazon Web Services Artificial Intelligence Practitioner certification. And lots of nerd stuff with that. Just basically, Amazon runs a portion of the world, and I know how to create AIs for them, and I passed their certification exam, which is an exam you have to pay for and sit for an exam for. It's not an easy exam. You can't walk off the street and pass it, and I passed theirs. But I didn't stop there. I also, well, if Amazon owns some of the world, then who owns the rest of the world? I'll tell you, my opinion is going to be Microsoft and ServiceNow. So that's why I hold the Microsoft Azure Artificial Intelligence Fundamental Certification, which is the same thing. Now, when you go to other AI training providers, when you ask them, like, hey, how do I know you actually know what you're doing and teaching in AI? Do you have any proof that you've taught this before? The answer is no. When you ask them, do you have any contracts or any other agencies that will vouch for you and how you teach AI and how well you do it? And the answer is no. When you ask them, do you have any sort of degree or certification that says you know what you're doing in artificial intelligence? The answer to them is going to be no, for all of them individually. I not only can say yes to every one of those three, I'm the only one that can say yes to all three at the same time, right? And that's one of the things that I bring to the table. Now, get off my high horse. Just kind of like what I like to start with is like, why are you here? Why should you listen? This is this. Some quick classroom rules, right? It will be. I do like this to be interactive. I see it. I think I have a lot of people on the witness relocation program right now. So if you guys are, you're hiding away from mob bosses, I totally understand. The mob's gonna try to get you. The mob's in the NBA, so you got to stay off screen, right? It's okay, no problem. It doesn't really matter for me on to be on screen or not off screen, but some quick things is sometimes I will ask questions. I'll ask it in the chat. I'll try to talk to you guys particularly. If you really want to learn AI, what separates a live instruction from a video you just watched, which is what a lot of you guys started with, is that you're here to ask questions and you're here to, hey, hold up, slow the class down. Let me go over this topic, or can you show me how to do this? That is the benefit of a live course, right? So when it comes to this live course, please keep that in mind. I need that interaction back and forth. I'll be able to bring the energy regardless, whether you're on camera or not, that's good. But hey, real quick, just some quick things that you can do is really easy. If you have a question, you can raise your hand just like that. You can even change your hand to a little brown hand, like I changed mine, so it looks like my skin color, right? That's how you raise your hand. You raise your hand. That's when you want me to re-explain something, you have a question, or you want to demo, right? We're going to be here for 2 hours. So go ahead and use that one. Another thing that it is, hey, react button. Sometimes you get applause. Hey, if someone makes a good point, I'll ask, does everyone understand? That is the like one, right? When someone finds something that's like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. Boom, that's a surprise one. Dr. Durfee, you figured out the raise hand. Do you have a question? Or are you just testing?
No, I'm just practicing.
Good. Yeah, this would be good. At least I have one person I can for sure talk to. I know everyone's on the witness relocation program because the mob's after them, so I understand. Um, that's it. With other than that, guys, or ladies and gentlemen, um, we'll get started with this. So this is a top tier AI prompting course. Things that'll help you guys out is be interactive, ask me questions. If you want to practice while you're using, while I'm doing this training, right? Because I'll talk about different kind of prompts. Feel free, go ahead or just be like, put in chat, hey, I'm trying to practice. Can you slow down so I can do this? Or can you go over that again, right? The more interactive it is, the more you're gonna learn. This is something that I run into AI a lot, right? I promise you, you will never learn artificial intelligence by writing on a piece of paper. Don't worry, Larry, you're good to go, bro. I appreciate the try, man. At least you got some handshakes back and forth. That's all I need, man, or raise hands and stuff. Thank you, though. When it comes, no problem, dude. When it comes to AI, you're not gonna learn it by pen and paper. You're not gonna learn it by listening to me talk. You're not gonna learn it any other way besides just doing it, right? Here's the thing with artificial intelligence. Everything in artificial intelligence comes down to this fundamental problem. We don't know. What can it do? We don't know. Can it take us over? We don't know. Can it do this? We don't know. How do I make it do this? We don't know. Everything in AI is about stuff that we don't know. This is why you have to adopt what's known as an agile mindset, right? The agile mindset is, hey, I don't know necessarily how to do X, but I can do some things to try to figure it out. Can AI make a marketing assistant that does all my training for me? I don't know. Let me go try. The old way of thinking is I don't know, that means I don't try it. The new way and the way that you need to adopt in this new AI landscape and information technology landscape is I don't know, but let me try this. Then let me try that. And over time, you're gonna learn by trying. You're gonna learn by doing. You're not gonna learn by talking and listening or nothing like that. You're gonna have to go out there, make your own prompts, and do some of the work. No worries with the cameras. I always say that. I teach PMP instruction. This is how I get everything lined up. Because the PMP is a lot drier and it's about 35 hours of content. This one's not, obviously. But just keep in mind you're gonna run into AI where like you don't know how to do something. I've recently today I just learned how to use different features in Google LM Notebook. If you guys should have that email from me. The email, the top one, should have been a Microsoft Teams link. Right below that, I said save this link for after class. Go ahead and open it up right now if you want. But that is essentially all of this training again, but in a different format. So for some of you, don't spend time writing down notes because I already gave you the documents, right? Spend time practicing or writing down insights or asking me questions and engaging back and forth. Text chat is a great way. Obviously, we see that it works. Before we get started, what I do is I'll ask a question. I'll count to five in my head. If I don't hear anybody say anything, I move on. So every time I ask if there's any questions, you can either ask a question or do it like it is in a wedding, forever hold your peace, and we're gonna move on, right? So any questions before we get started?
Not at the moment.
Oh man, let's get going. So then welcome to the TTPS AI Foundations. Now, this is an 8-hour course that my company does. I charge at the point of $500, but I don't accept self-pay. I only get paid through the state of Texas. So I'm on, my company's on the Texas eligible training provider list, meaning if you're on unemployment, if you're on state benefits, if you're transitioning military, you're a veteran discharged within 4 years, you can take this training. They'll pay for it and you'll take it for free, and I'll get paid for it. It's a whole entire 8-hour course. For this segment, I'm only doing the first 2 hours, right? To go from there. Before anyone asks, I do not have any way where you can actually self-pay. My company is not structured for you to give me money. I don't have it set up. I didn't set it up on purpose because I believe firmly that if I want to get paid, I'm gonna go tap into this federal grant and state grant money that's already there, and I'm gonna use that. And I look down on any institution that actually charges individual people their own money because they're just lazy. You just got to tap into the state funding. So don't ask me for the full paid course. I don't have it unless you want to go through as a small business, or if you want to go through it as an individual through only in Texas eligible training provider list. And if you're not in Texas, sucks to be you, but I am happy to get paid from your state as well. I'm happy to link it with people and go from there. Now, one thing we're going to talk about, what you'll learn, is you're going to engineer prompts using the top tier project services CIIO framework. The CIIO framework is my trademark framework. It's something that's very powerful. It helps out with everything because you'll see as we develop, it just fixes issues when it comes to hallucination, when AI makes stuff up, when it doesn't do what you wanted to do, or when it's not as effective, or when you want to make it cleaner. The CIO framework is how you talk to AI. Now, when you talk to AI, you got to be very explicit, very specific about what you want, right? In the army, when I served, this is how I would train soldiers or brief approximately 300 to 500 meters away from the tentative ejected rally point. The point man's going to call a halt. When the point man calls a halt, I'm going to come up to the point man. I'm going to ask them why they've halted. They're going to tell me they're approximately 300 to 500 meters away from tentative ejected rally point. At this point in time, I'll go ahead and conduct a map check, and I'll tap my right map pocket so everyone in the patrol knows I'm doing a map check, and then I'll verify that we're indeed 300 to 500 meters away from tentative ejected rally point, and then I'll go direct everyone to get into a security halt position. That is how I talk. That is how I would brief and order. I used to do it with more charisma, and there's a little terrain model. That is the level of detail you need to talk to your artificial intelligence. That's how you need to talk to AI. The reason why is because AI is like a baby, it's a child. It thinks like a human, but it doesn't think how we think, right? We got to give it everything, right? It's like a portion of our brain. You're also going to learn how to build a prompt engineer. The prompt engineer is something that's unique to my company and the way that we do things. And what I do is who's better at doing a machine task, a human or a machine? The answer is a machine. So therefore, instead of me making all the prompts for my AI to use, I took the time to make a good AI that makes prompts, and the machine makes the prompts for everything. Now, that is tantamount to everything I do. Once I make that prompt engineer, that becomes your architect that helps you with everything that you're doing. From there, we'll talk about how you can build assistants, and then right around that, we'll tailor off. I'll show you how to build assistants, how to test them, and then that's pretty much the end of the course. The stuff that you'll be missing is how to apply prompt stacks, which are controls, how to do deep research on systems and analytics. I think I can low-key unemploy every single statistician in the United States of America because I can use the deep research and do my own prompting the way I've done it. Somebody actually paid me about $250 for a prompt, not to research a large data set for them. It took me 5 minutes to make the prompt. So I don't know how much that is an hour, but 250 for 5 minutes, that's a lot of money. I was pretty good with that. But that's the kind of thing you could do with deep research. Then we'll go into building your first agent workflow. Agents is what people know as what are people are afraid of, the thing that does everything for you without you thinking. And the last thing we'll talk about fine-tuning tools as a level one AI user. AI only becomes effective when the human applies structure. What we're trying to teach you today is that structure. So the TTPS approach to AI, we build everything that we do using the CIIO framework. The CIIO framework is quite simply the best way to talk to AI, right? I'm gonna type it in here so you guys can see it one more time, but it stands for context, instructions, in scope, which is an example, out of scope. Example, I don't want. These are advanced ways to talk to artificial intelligence. In my Azure certification and in my AWS AI certification, they will ask a question about effective prompting ways. They're not going to say the CIO framework, but they're going to say this, what I just told you. The why do I have the CIO framework? I believe in two things. I believe in manifesting and I believe in acronyms because of the Army. So the acronym, it works well, but what I'm manifesting is I want to be a chief information officer for a Fortune 200 company. That's one of my goals. So I'm manifesting that by creating a trademark way to talk to AI, which is CIO. I just add an extra I. One thing we're going to also go over is the prompt engineer. The prompt engineer is the artificial intelligence model that you'll develop using ChatGPT, or you could use Copilot. Everything I do is free. You could also do it in advanced platforms too, if you want to do your own thing on Hugging Face or AWS AI. The prompt engineer is something that'll help you out with that. The next thing we'll move on to is there's assistants. We will create assistants. When it comes to AI, a lot of people use AI like it's Google, and it's not Google. When you use it like it's Google, you're gonna get really bad outputs. So what I'm gonna teach you to do is make an assistant. For example, here's an event planning assistant. Here's an email writing assistant. Here's a document writing assistant, article writing assistant, marketing assistant, right? The list goes on, right? They're just assistants for specific things. What you want to avoid is having an AI that does everything. The moment you have an AI that does everything, you're going to have a bunch of problems, a bunch of issues, a bunch of hallucinations. Your model's not going to be that effective. That's why I'm teaching you to use assistants for specific flows. Talk about TTPS agent workflows and fine tuning. This is a full system, not a single tool. This is how my company quite simply utilizes AI to get after contracts and to teach. So now we're going to talk about what AI really is, right? AI is not Skynet. It's not this mythical thing. It's not a unicorn, right? It's not nothing crazy. It's just something that mimics how the human brain thinks. So, and what is some things that the human brain does, right? The human brain can predict patterns, right? If every time I walk down this street and I walk in, there's a puddle there. Whenever it rains, there's a dip in the ground, and then my feet get wet. If I walk down that street for every day for a week, after that week, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna walk down that street, or I'm gonna cross the road. Why? Because I already know if it rains, I could predict that there's gonna be a puddle there. And also, AI responds to your instructions. It doesn't think on its own. It will make some stuff up and fill it in, when you don't give it the information that it needs, but it responds to you. It is not smarter than you. You are smarter than the AI. You control the AI. AI is a tool. If you think this is one of those workshops where people come in and be like, hey, um, AI is going to do everything for you. You're going to sit on your butt and you're just going to make money, right? I'm a small business owner. I know own not just one, but three different entities. I promise you, if there was an AI that did my job for me, I would have already paid for it. Got a company and credit card for a reason, right? Um, AI needs you, needs your instruction, needs you so it knows what to do. And AI will also need to stay within your boundaries. You give those boundaries by you providing that information, that context, right? And AI, it becomes reliable when it's structured, right? When you stop using it like Google, it's super reliable. It can create the right outputs. For the longest time, I had it respond to people's email inquiries about a program I was running, and it was very accurate once I took the time to train it and upload the right documents. That's what can happen for you today, not tomorrow, right? And you can start using it today and learning more and more as you grow. Now, what you want to do is you design the rule and then the model executes them. And then the rules are quite simply the instructions that you give the AI, the items that are in scope, such as examples of something you want, items that are out of scope, which are examples of something you don't want. Now, there's some advanced AI learning algorithm stuff in there, but I'm not going to cover it. Just take anything from this. AI needs you to provide very clear and specific instructions. AI needs that so it can operate. And AI is just something that mimics the human brain. It's not sentient on its own. It just thinks how a human brain would think. Now, the role of structure in AI, if you don't have structure, such as a CIO prompting framework, such as a document, right? Such as something of like, hey, this is the instructions. It tends to do what's known as drift, and it'll just not quite make stuff up, but it'll just add some stuff in there, right? It'll just add in things that it thinks is good from the web or whatever. It will then also hallucinate. Has anyone here heard that term yet? Hallucinate. Can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down if that term's been heard, or raise hand. Who has heard that term before? Okay. So hallucinate's good. So now just so everyone knows, hallucinate, it's a fancy word for lying. The AI lies. That's what hallucinate is. So every now and then, AI will lie if you don't put the right controls. So all it really is, hallucinate equals lying. I don't know why they call it hallucinate, but it's basically just lying. It makes stuff up. From there, it also guesses or it'll break tone and it has structure. For example, I talk a certain way and my conversation and my emails, I want them articulated a certain way. Same thing with my writing. And if I don't give it the instruction that it needs or the context it needs, it's going to break that tone. It's going to talk like someone else. And it's going to be like, you didn't write this paper. I was like, well, yes, I did. Right. With the TTPS structure, what happens is AI stabilizes. It becomes easier to manage. It clarifies, it executes, and it improves upon itself. Because what we're going to do is tell it how we want it to operate, what we want it to do, what we don't want it to do, and how we want it to learn. So now here's the CIO framework. This is the trademark TTPS framework. Context. Whenever you talk to AI, so if you're typing up ChatGPT, if you're using Grok, if you're using, I think DeepSeek is the China one. I don't recommend you use that because we're kind of beefing it with China. Shame on you as an American. Don't use DeepSeek or whatever their AI is. Use Grok or whatever. There's ChatGPT, which is the OpenAI one. There's also Copilot. Doesn't matter where you use this. What I'm teaching you here is platform independent, meaning it's going to work anywhere where AI is. What you guys are noticing is that AI is creeping into more and more and more stuff. So what you're going to need to know is how to prompt it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, these big companies are going to buy a giant AI enterprise software. It's going to cost them millions upon millions of dollars. And they're going to buy it and they're going to expect people like you, everyday people, everyday users, or frontline workers, supervisor, whatever, they're going to expect you to use the AI. How do you use AI? By talking it to this way, right? Context. You'll always want to give it a purpose in the background because the AI is like a human brain and you want to tell it what it is. Like, hey, you are a doctor, you are an event planner, you are a project manager, you are helping me with a brainstorming session. Just give it the context. It needs to know what it's kind of doing, right? Instruction. This is the exact task you want it to do. I want you to look at this picture and tell me who the people are. I want you to rewrite this paragraph so it's more concise. I want you to update this article so that way its AD readability score or higher. Whatever the task is. I stands for instruction, which is exactly what you want it to do. In scope, it's the allowed actions. This is quite simply, I'm gonna give you an example of what I want you to do. When you give it an example of what you want it to do, it locks the AI in. It's like, all right, cool. You want me to do something like this. Next, autoscope. This is an example of something you don't want it to do, right? That further, so you know how I'm restricting the AI? When you tell it the autoscope one, it restricts it a lot more and it makes it to it's a very small hole. It's a very small thing that it's doing and it's very precise. That is how you stop an AI from hallucinating. That is the CIIO prompting framework. Around the room, do we have any questions on this before I keep going further? This is fundamental to everything we do. You don't have to understand it in great depth, but it's not much to understand. But is there any questions with this framework, especially in execution, how to use it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys an example, right? This is in the CIO prompting framework so you guys can see it, right? You are a professional party planner. I want you to help me come up with some activities and themes for a birthday party. Uh, this party is for kids age 5 through 12. I don't want anything that involves alcohol or sports, right? So you are a professional party planner. Can someone tell me what is this in the CIO prompting framework? Let's
The
see.
guide, the
So
guide for what
this
it's supposed to. I'm sorry.
this is the context, which is guiding it, right, Adam? It's the context, it's
Yeah.
telling you what it is. So now, what's this next one? I want you to help me come up with some activity for and themes for a birthday party. What do you think that is?
Those are the instructions.
Yes, that's the instructions, right? From there, this party is for kids age 5 to 12, right? What is that, ladies and gentlemen?
That's the
Rules.
end scope.
In scope, right?
Yeah.
It's an example of like, hey, what is it that I want to do? Now, there's some incorrections in this, right? You guys will see as we develop more. I'm just keeping it light. And then the last one, I don't want this. That's keywords out of scope. So now when you talk to it like this, it's going to produce a decent output, right? It's going to give it its context, its instructions, it's in scope, and it's out of scope. Here, creative activities, age 5 through 8 that create. It even has imagery, right? I didn't ask for imagery. That's kind of interesting that it did that, right? But it gave me the imagery. Now it's there. These are different activities, painting create stations, fantasy and adventure play, science and discovery party, movie theater and dress up party. You see how much detail came out from this one? Let me do it again then, right? And they tend to update. Sometimes they do updates where it actually collects all the information from your other chats and it comes up from there. So now this is another one. This is Copilot asking it the same thing, right? So now what I'm really doing is I'm testing the different models and seeing how they work. Now, the only difference that I'm seeing so far within this one and the other one is that it also came up with themes and then information on why it works and who is it best for, right? Because they wanted some more I got some more context from me. Now, let me try this again. And this is Copilot with the CIIO framework instead. So now it has the themes split out individually, and then it has the activities written out a little bit more structured. But that's the difference between a CIO prompt and then just another regular one. Do you guys want to try one on your own? See if it does the same thing for you? Go ahead and try. Once you're done, please paste it in here so I can see what it is you came up with, right? Here's a quick little thing that's really cool. Let's say you're coming up with ideas. Let's say you have someone that needs help with it. You know what you can do? You could do this prompt, go ahead and share that link. And then you share that link. It's in the chat right now. So now if any of you guys are planning a birthday party, you can just pick it up right from that one. It has the themes already ready to go. That is something that you can do that you could help out. I encourage you, start a new chat. Do your own CIO prompting framework about a birthday party. Paste the link and we'll check it out once I get the first time that break. So now why CIO matters, what it does is it removes ambiguity, right? It lets you know like, hey, what kind of things do you like? What kind of things you don't like? Do you need themes? Do you not need themes? Do you want sports activities? Do you not want sports activities? What are those things, right? It also reduces hallucinations, right? Now, when it comes to hallucinations, remember that's a vocabulary term. Hallucination is when the AI lies or make stuff up. It sounds very reasonable, sounds very plausible. It's kind of like if you ever known someone that's like a habitual liar and they're just really good at it, you're like, wow, that's a really good story, but it's a straight lie. That's what hallucination is, right? It's really sounds really good, but it's a straight lie. It also controls your output behavior, keeps it aligned to certain things. For example, how I said non-sport activities. And it also creates for repeatable quality because if I use the same thing, I can develop off of that, or I can share that chat just like I shared it with you guys, and you guys can do it as well. It aligns the AI with your intention. Most AI mistakes happens because CIO is missing. Basically, it'll make stuff up. It will add stuff. It'll take away stuff. It'll drift away from what you want to do. Especially the longer you talk into the chat, the less specific instruction you go, the more off the rails it tends to go. Now, here's the TTPS learning triangle. What we want to start with is the base level prompt engineering, CIO prompt. That's what I just kind of talked to you guys. The mid level is creating assistants that'll help you to do different tasks, such as event planning, like how I just had to make one. The top level is agent workflows. That's the automated stuff. That's the read this, come up with read all my emails, identify ones I didn't answer, come up with a reply for them. I'll approve them and then send out the replies. That's automatic agent stuff. This is the required sequence for predictable AI systems. You start with, let me talk to the AI model to do something, right? Let me make an assistant that helps me to do something. Let me make an assistant that automatically does something that's really easy to do. Right? And those are different things. Like, hey, when's the next class that you guys got coming up? Boom, 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 goes into there. The AI can automatically respond based off of the catalog. The next class is at this time. Do you need a human being for that? No, you don't. That's where AI comes in. When it comes to the agent workflow stuff, the AI does things on its own. That's called an agent workflow. That is the thing that does it on its own. Typically, you keep that confined to very easy stuff to do, copy and paste type of tasks, very mundane tasks, because they're not critical in nature. When it comes to AI, we have different skill levels at top tier. This is the way I look at it, right? You have level one, which are the AI users. They write in CIO prompts. They'll use assistants. They'll use deep research, and they might build simple agent workflows. A level two is a model maker, right? A model maker is someone that builds assistants, that creates prompt stacks, that could create things and fine tune them and make sure that they are acceptable for what we want to do. A level three is an agent maker where they build intelligent workflows where it's multiple agents handing things off. And a level four is an AI architect that designs entire AI ecosystems, right? From the level of these are my agent workflows, these are my 10 agents, these are my 20 foundational models, and these are all my prompts that all my users will be using and all the access that they have. The AI architect plans all of that stuff. What I found in AI, so a lot of people think they're a little bit more advanced than they really are. So I'll talk to them like, hey, do you know how to use AI? Like, yeah, I know how to use AI. I use it every day. Oh, can you make your custom GPTs or your own custom pages, or can you make your own assistants? And they'll very quickly say, nah, I don't know how to do that. So then you are automatically a level one user. Until you can make your own models, I look at you as a level one user, which is more of a front end user, someone that uses a system that doesn't have to plan how to make it, how to control it, just want to use it, right? This is what a lot of these companies are going to find is missing in corporate America. And once they deploy their AI systems, it's the users don't know how to use the AI. So level one is the AI user, level two is a model maker, level three is when you start making agents, and level four is when you're the architect of everything all pieced together for companies. Now, this could get super complex, and you could work for a company like Granger. This could also be for your, your cousin's business, your own business, right? Small mom and pop shop. Keep in mind that AI can apply to every single level. All these AI trainers and other AI experts, they're targeting the big fish. They're targeting ServiceNow. They're targeting, Salesforce. They're targeting all these bigger companies, ADP, Amazon, Honeywell. That's who they're going after. But the same stuff that solves problems for them are the same stuff that you can solve problems for small businesses as well. So when it comes to these AI levels, like, hey, your company processes 10 transactions a month, you can still apply this to it. Your company processes 10 billion transactions a month. All this still applies to it in the same way. So those are different things that I'll catch you guys up. That's the TTPS AI skill levels. So today's training plan, you will build a prompt engineer. We'll go over to a series of assistants, the prompt stack, page, and a couple of those things. Those things are what's a part of the main course. So for the most part, I'm going to build you a prompt engineer. We're going to build a prompt engineer together, and we'll go over multiple assistants. So now we're getting into some vocabulary, right? So fine tuning. Fine tuning is what's known as correcting the model. Go ahead, Larry. I see your hand up.
Whoops.
Larry, you got.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was from before. I don't know where that. Let me.
Oh, okay, my bad. You got to click the hand raise again, and then you'll bring it down. Adam, do you have a question?
I do.
Yes. What's up,
Am
man?
I allowed to screenshot what you're presenting?
Yeah. If you got the email from me too, I also sent you a link to my OneNote that also has it there. But you're welcome, and I'm also recording it, and I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
post it on YouTube.
Okay. Oh, do I have your YouTube channel? Do you have that? Can you post that in the chat so I can
Yes,
have that?
I most definitely will. I'll be posting on YouTube. This is being recorded. I also gave you guys a link with all these classes already as well. But
Okay.
yes, you can
Okay.
screenshot whatever you want. I'm okay, man. You're good to go, dude. I'm
All
doing
right.
this for free
Cool.
for a
I just
reason.
thought I'd ask.
No, you're
Appreciate it.
good. I know some people are weird about that, so I understand. So now fine tuning. This is when fine tuning means correcting a model deficiencies. Now you could do this using CIO refinements or new boundaries. Dr. Durfee, you have a question?
Yeah. So this Saturday, I know we're doing I believe it's a live class. I mean, or it's an in-person class, and it's the 8-hour class. So what level will that class provide us?
Level two at the end.
Okay.
And that's when you should be making your own assistants and everything. So like, you know how I made the marketing homie and I showed you that link and everything? You'll know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now here's fine tuning. What that is correcting a model. This is an AI term. If you can refine it with CIO refinements, you give it new boundaries, give it more examples, or maybe define something. Sometimes it doesn't understand the language that you're using. And you can also do improve instructions. Fine tuning is not optional. It is part of building professional AI systems. You must fine tune a model. So that way it can produce the right outputs. If you're not fine tuning it, you're using it like Google, it's not the same. Uh, Moving on. So the prompt engineer comes first, right? When it comes to the prompt engineer, this is the core thing, and you guys all need to be able to create one. So what I'm going to do is I have what's known as a prompt book, right? So my prompt book is actually what I use for all kinds of prompts and different things like that. My son even made a career development prompt book, so that'll help us out. So this is the TTPS Prompt Developer Assistant. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna paste this into the chat. You guys in ChatGPT need to paste this into a fresh chat. Go into new chat and paste this on your own. You don't have to do this right now. This is the prompt engineer, but let me tell you how it works first. So that way you don't just get into a Ferrari and you realize real quick that you don't know how to drive a stick. So let me teach you how to drive first. Well, there's the engine. So the prompt engineer comes first. That's what I put in here, right? What it does, it designs all your prompts. It applies the CIO framework for you. It'll enforce clarity, reduce hallucinations, prevent tone drift, and corrects your mistakes and improves with every instruction. And assistants do not design prompts, the prompt engineer does, right? Keep that in mind. So a prompt engineer, it's your machine that makes prompts for other machines, right? It makes assistants, whether it's your, I need you to make a deep research prompt. I need you to make an agent workflow prompt. I need you to make a prompt stack. I need you to make a assistant or a prompt for an assistant, right? Different things like that. That is what the CIO prompt engineer does. This is your bedrock, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you will use for everything else. Now, you could use the basic CIO framework and then just create a prompt engineer. And over time of developing, you'll figure out all kinds of issues with it, how to fix it, how to whatever. Or you could just use the one that I just did. That stack that I just posted for you guys, that prompt itself is something that I developed over the course of about 3 years. It's just gotten better with time. There's lots of niche stuff in there, but what'll happen when you use that prompt that I provided that you can't, that other people will sell it to you for like, I think someone was selling their prompts for like 470 bucks, bro. That's a lot of money, dude. I give it to you for free, man, because it's don't worry about it. The technology will update and I'll update with it. So I'm not worried about it. But you want to use that exact prompt. Why is that? Because your prompt engineer is going to learn. It's going to do exactly the way you want it to do it. It's going to produce great output. It's going to reduce hallucinations, and it's going to do certain mechanisms that I embedded into there, such as the two-level learning, the feedback alignment. It'll just do things better than other ones. So why we use a prompt engineer? Prompt engineer standardizes quality, makes prompts reusable, avoids missing information, and fixes weak languages and enforces boundaries. Your prompt engineer is your co-designer, not your assistant, right? So now when you're building your prompt engineer, this is where we're going to go practical. So please go ahead and log in ChatGPT. That prompt is a little long for Copilot because they have a character restriction, but we'll see how it goes. So now, first and foremost, what I try to do is I'll go from there. I go into a new chat, right? So now when it comes to ChatGPT, there's some basic functionalities that you want to go over. Real quick, I'll just show you this. Right here is the model. I have it set to auto. Honestly, I really don't like auto because it does weird stuff that I'm not expecting. It's not controllable. I personally like using the old school 4.0 models. They're a little bit easier. Whatever's available to you, right? I'm gonna use this one for right now, so it's good. So then all I'll do is nice and simply, I just paste the entire prompt. So look at it. Let's look at this prompt line by line, right? And this is so you can see the power of the prompt. A lot of the stuff develops off of this, and then you'll see what I mean. And this is the architecture portion, right? So if you notice, I talked to it in the CIO framework. Go ahead, Adam. Question.
How is it I can copy and paste the prompt right now?
I
How
put it
do I
in the
do
Teams
that?
chat. It's in the Teams chat
Oh,
on the right. But I could
okay.
also
Yeah,
email it to you.
sorry. No, no, no. I'm out of
No,
the
you know
chat.
what? Because I
I
need
had
to
the full
email you guys
video up.
anyways. So let me do this because I got to send you guys a different file. So I'm gonna send you guys the prompt itself in an email, and then I'm gonna send you an additional document. This additional document is called my prompt stack template. My prompt stack template is just a document that I add that controls a prompt that controls the AI further. I'm gonna send you the prompt stack template as well. It's all in your inbox. I can't add files in Teams, so you're gonna have to get it from email. My bad.
Okay, and
But don't worry about it. I'll add it. So now,
look,
yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
The prompt. The prompt is what you put in there before you're starting to tell it what you want it to do and execute.
Yes. So right now what I'm doing, just so everyone knows, is I'm going through the prompt so we all see what some of the aspects are in it, and then we're just gonna do it live and go from there. But yeah, you
Okay,
are right,
okay.
Adam. And if you want to go a little ahead, you can. It's all about you. I
I'm not
encourage you to
jumping ahead.
try stuff.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm grasping it right. Is what I'm.
Yep,
Okay.
that's not a problem,
All
dude.
right.
Ask as
I'm
many
I'm
questions,
doing.
jump ahead, experiment. You know what? If you mess up, hey, just go back and we'll start a new chat. You're good to go. It's not a problem, man. So we're good.
Cool.
Um,
Thank you.
So here's the thing. Do you guys know why it's written? Why do I have it in the CIO framework again? Can anyone tell me? Think about it when you tell a kid something to do. Yeah, does anyone here, you have kids, right?
Rules, boundaries, and guidelines.
Boundaries and guidelines, but what happens if you have a kid and you tell them every day, take out the trash for 2 weeks straight? What are they
It
gonna
becomes
remember? Go
Take
ahead.
out the trash too.
It reinforces that, right? So not only do I talk to it in the CIO framework, I also build
Mm.
agents and build prompts in that framework. So now the AI has heard it twice. And every time you ask the AI to do something, it's going to run through it again and run through it again and run through it again. And it's going to further and further and further and further learn. It's kind of like one thing that I remember in school is something's important when they say it over and over again. It's repetition, right? Those are different things. That's why I talk to it in the framework. Now, context, it tells it what it's doing. Instruction. This instruction has a lot of instructions. It's just I'll highlight some things where it won't let it do racist stuff, right? It won't do ethical stuff, right? And if you get my AI to say something racist, let me know so I can do something to fix it because it's not supposed to be able to say racist stuff. Or help people do stuff that's bad, right? Like plan. I don't want to say them, but like you shouldn't be able to do bad stuff with my AI. If you can, and you hack my AI, let me know so I can fix it, please. Or keep using it or whatever, but give me a good rating score or something, man. Give me some likes or something. You could also harden prompts. One things that I do is I maintain readability scores. So has anyone here heard of the Flesh scale for readability? Oh, that's into that.
no,
No.
I haven't heard that.
Okay. So the flesh scale is just the way it's like you do some math with like a paragraph. You add up how many words you have and divide it by that many sentences, and that's how some math you do, and it tells you how readable is your document, right? So at 80 readability score, that means an eighth grader can read my documents and understand what it is. That means every time my AI pumps something out, it pumps it out an 80 readability score. So you know what that means? That means when I use AI to send an email and you tell me you don't understand my email, I'm going to look at you and be like, you didn't read my email, did you? Because an eighth grader understands my email. And last I checked, you were a college graduate, man. So different things like that. That's 80 readability score off top. Just if you just want to use AI to play around, if you wrote a memo, wrote an article, or whatever you wrote, put in ChatGPT, say, hey, rewrite this 80 readability score or higher. Boom, you're already more productive right then and there. Ethical violations controls applies to all prompts. It tells it stuff that it can't do, so it's ethically compliant. Out of scope, it tells us stuff I don't want it to do. Then in here has the prompt stack. So now I'm gonna go into how we actually do it. So what I did is I copied this entire prompt, every single thing, right? All the way down to the bottom, even when it says activation complete, put it in there in the new chat. However, I'm also going to add this document here. So what I'm going to do now is what's known as grounding. What grounding is when I ground the AI in a document. Now, my document is my prompt stack template because this is my prompt engineer. Maybe your document, if you're a school teacher, it's a certain curriculum guide. It's a tech. Maybe you're in the safety department, it's a standard. Maybe you're making an SOP for your company. Maybe you're making a branding guide, like whatever. Like your source document that you ground it in could be whatever it is. For this prompt engineer, we're doing this. By the way, I need you guys to do it in real time with me, so that way you guys get something out of it. Be good to go. If not, do it later on your own, but it's super. It's exactly as easy as I'm making it sound. Um, or at least by using my stuff, right? Which you're welcome to do it. I do have a warning for you. If you use my prompt stack template, I have it in there where like every fifth output, I do an ad for my company, which is linked to my top tier link tree. Just so you guys know. So you can put ads in AI now too. A lot of people don't know that. So now right here, I'm adding the prompt stack template and I have the full prompt already go. I did it in a new chat. Then I just go ahead and click enter. What it's going to do is systematically, it's going to read everything here and it's going to be like, hey, I need to follow the prompt stack template, right? Where's the prompt stack template? Oh, it's right here. So I'm referencing it several times. What the AI is going to do is then, this is important. It's going to, my AI is the way I'm telling you to do it. You're going to have to read back and forth because it's telling you stuff and you're going to have to talk to it in a certain way, right? It says, I reviewed and aligned this TTPS prompts, configuration, confirm snapshot for audit readiness. What type of prompt do you need to build? And who is it intended for? So let's do this live. Who wants to build a prompt assistant real quick with me? Raise your digital hand and you're going to talk me through the assistant we're going to build. All right, Paulette,
Oh,
give me,
yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, I'm ready. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm still
Give me the
confused, but I'm
context.
say it again.
Give me the context, right? So we're gonna build an assistant, right? Something that would help you out. It could be a meal planner. It could be a schedule maker. It could be something to help you come up with cooking ideas. It could be help you to plan a
Workout plan.
project. Yeah, workout plan, whatever you want. But give me the context of what kind of assistant we need to do, or what do we need to solve?
Okay, let's do since I like money, I want to develop a savings plan for the year 2026.
All right. So now, if you notice, this is one thing that I like about AI. If you like doing notes, you see I have a ton of typos, right? Um, I like typing in shorthand, and the more I use my AI, the more it figures out what I'm saying. Like for example, it knows that I turn all my L's into K's for some reason, and it figured that out little by little. So I don't worry about it. I'm fixing it right now because I have time. Normally, I don't fix any of these typos. I just type away. So fight the urge to fix your typos. When you're sharing screen, you kind of just got to fix the typos, right? So context, I want to develop a savings plan for 2026. So then the instructions, right?
Okay.
So now for instructions, how do we want it to help us develop that savings plan? You don't need to give it any actual information like this is my bank account, this is how much money I make, nothing. We just want to
Okay.
tell it how is it that we want it to help us make these savings plans.
Okay. How? Um. So I want it to be based on like a biweekly schedule.
You will help create a bi-weekly savings schedule based on my inputs for how much cash or income I have to spend or save. What else do you want it to do?
Um. I wanted to I guess show my progress.
I want you to help evaluate progress against long-term goals as stated. Help me make the bi-weekly plans into long-term 6 months objectives so I can stay on track. Um, I'll say ask me questions about how I am spending to identify potential excessive uh, spending, waste, or opportunities for investment. Does that sound? I added some stuff to it. Does that sound good with you?
Yeah, it's okay. It
Okay.
sounds
And then
good.
I'm fixing the spell checks as I'm on screen. I'm a little conscious of it. Normally I don't fix them. Go ahead.
So, did context and instructions
So now
is
in scope, so I need to give it an example of something I want, right? For example, what's an example of something?
hmm. Oh,
Uh,
could I say, for example, I would like it in a spreadsheet format or something like that?
for example, use spreadsheets and narrative descriptions. Um, one thing I think you can do is ask is if I want to save $3,000 in 2 months, but and I make let's say $12,000 a month, you would suggest an appropriate amount to save after asking me my expenses, right? So those are just different things that it can do, right? That's an example of something I want it to do. So I want it to be like, hey, for example, hey man, I want to save $3,000 in the next 2 months, and I make $12,000 a year or a month. Um, Go ahead and tell me that, right? So this is the appropriate amount to save. That is your in scope. Uh, I'll do this one for you easily. Want you to ask for bank numbers or social security and other protected information, right? Because we don't want our info out there. So that is the context, instruction, in scope, and out of scope for a savings AI model. So from here, the AI is thinking. It's rereading all of this information. It's rereading this prompt stack, and then it's reading my instructions that I wanted that I gave it in the CIO framework, and now it's going to produce my assistant. So this is a savings and financial planning assistant, right? So it's 2026. You are a TTPS financial planners assistant that rolls into 2, 6 month, and annual financial objectives. Your primary objective is translate income. This is your instruction. This is the money. This is out of scope. This is all of your things, and these are your intake questions. So now, do not keep going in this chat. What you're gonna do is copy that, and I'm gonna put it in the Teams chat so you guys have it. So all I do is copy it. Now, if it didn't produce something that I wanted, I'm gonna go back here and edit, but I'll show you real quick. So that's there. So I'm gonna go to a new chat now, right? I'm gonna paste in your exact prompt again, Paul. Then I'm gonna re-add the prompt stack architecture because it shouldn't, like last time, how I remembered the other thing from the other chat, it shouldn't have been able to do that. So that's why I'm adding it again to make sure. Everyone following along with me so far?
Yep.
So we made the assistant at one end. Now we copy paste it, move it over here. And now this is where we're using the model. So what you just did is made an assistant. Now you're over here messing around with the chat and you basically made a quick model. So now it's reading the documents, it's intake in step one, and now it has it all there, right? Fixed monthly expenses, variable expenses. You see all this level of detail. Did we talk about any of this stuff? Not really, right? But because we gave
No.
it the CIO framework and because my AI knows what it's doing, it just produces this. So then what you would then do is you would talk to it, right? And you'd execute some of the things. So you'd have to answer these questions, right? But let's say, hey, I don't like how it asks this all at once, and you're not really telling me how to use this, right? So let's go back to the prompt architecture. I want to edit this prompt. I have a problem with it because it doesn't really tell me how it wants me to use it, and then it just throws a wall of text at me. I want it to kind of just tell me, hey, this is what my goal, this is what I do. Do you understand? And then goes to the next question. Then it starts asking me questions, but little by little. Now, I do want it to be able to ask me all the questions at once for someone that's in a hurry, but I want it to be more step by step so it guides someone through setting this up the right way. Go ahead and update this prompt so it adds in these specifications. So now I'm going a little bit more, right? I use the text chat on there instead, right? And then I talk to it just like that. You guys are seeing it right there. There's all my words, nice and easy and clean. This is actually when I'm driving or something like that, I talk to it like that. There's another function that you could also use with this, but this is the new stack that is now created. And if you notice, it's version 2. Now, it's going to add in the additional behavior controls that it wants, right? Do not dump the full content back to the user. Do not ask for everything at once unless it's asked for fast track, etc. Right? So now, what is this called that I just did? It's a term that I said very early on. It probably went over your heads, but do you guys know? I'll count to 5.
I don't know.
No.
Fine tuning. I'm fine tuning the model because I didn't
Tuning.
like.
Okay.
I didn't like the way it just gave me a wall of text, not very user friendly. Like, remember, let's say this was an app. I want someone to use my app, right? And if it's like blah on a screen, who's gonna use that? No one, right? You want to user friendly. So this is fine tuning the model. Basically, I did something in the model. Now, like, I don't like that. Let me do it a different way. So now I'm gonna go into new chat, retake the model. Then I'm gonna go ahead once again, add in my prompt stack template because that's what controls the AI. Then I deploy it again. Now I have my new model, right? Do you want a guided step-by-step or fast track all questions at once? Fix, nice and easy. Now let's say,
Okay.
Paulette, go ahead.
Said okay. I'm listening.
Okay, so let's say Paulette wants to add her family to this. You can start a group chat right here. Or you know what? Hey man, I think you need help with planning a budget. This is what I'm gonna do, bro. I made a chat GPT just for you. Go ahead and use that. Let me know if you have any problems. That'll help you to figure out your budget or your savings plan. Done. Now you can add people. Now I successfully trained that model to do that one thing. Now, is this AI perfect? No. As I use it, I'm gonna find out more stuff. Paulette, when you find out stuff that you want to fix, where do you fix it?
I will go back to the original prompt.
Yes, you go back to the original prompt and then you'll tell it like, hey, you're a prompt engineer, right? I didn't like this, make it fix this, right? So different things like that. That's just how you use the prompt engineer real quick. Do you guys want to see that again with a different thing, or you guys want, I could go right back to the slides and
Yeah.
balance it a little. You want to see it again?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So then that means I need a new participant. All right. So give me some context, man. What's up?
I'm thinking.
It don't have to be nothing super serious, guys, because like like what can you use this to fast track cancer research? Yeah, is that what we're doing right now? No, we're good. Can you use it
No.
to fast track cancer research? You can though. So basically, don't take it that serious. It's okay, man. We're just messing around. Like you could do anything like content creation, schedule planning. They do have a word
Yeah.
of
Yeah. I
caution for
mean,
you guys. It doesn't do numbers that well. I don't know why. AI doesn't do numbers that well. Go ahead, Adam.
as far as what do you mean numbers? As far as math or?
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't do numbers that well. I have some theories on it, and that's how I'm gonna. I was in the
Okay.
military,
So
so I
I
want to
was gonna
create
say
AI
like.
bots.
Okay. I was gonna say something like a meal workout plan. For changing the diet or something. But so should I
That
pick
works.
something different?
No,
Does it?
you are a physical assistant that helps me create meal and workout plan. So for instructions,
For
this time I'm gonna guide you a little bit, right? Tell it what kind of meals you like. For example, are you a paleo diet guy? Are you a low carb guy? Are you a fasting until noon guy? What kind of meals do you want?
yeah, fasting till noon, high protein, low carbs. And if you want more detail, I guess like a 1 month plan broken down into one week. If that makes sense.
That's a lot of detail for meals. Tell me about the workout. So this is a combo one. Normally, I don't do combos because it tends to trip out, but the AI is updated a little bit, so we'll see what
Oh,
it
we
does.
we could go one or the other. Those are just the two ideas in
No,
my
no,
head
I
at
want to
the
try the
same time.
combo one. I want to see if it gets it right. It didn't
Okay,
do it
and what
before,
did you
but
say?
it might do it now. What kind of workouts you do? You do high intensity training, German volume training, hydro. What do we do?
Uh, right now just resistance training, get my strength up and all that. Resistance with a little bit of weight.
High rep, high rep or high weight? Uh,
Yeah, I guess high weight and
Low weight, high
endurance.
rep. Okay, low weight, high rep for muscle definition. All right. Create um, training plans that have how many sets do you do at that how long do you stay at the gym when you work out?
About an hour.
No longer than 60 minutes. How many sets do you do per how many body parts do you do?
I try to do full body unless I need to give a break on something for her, particularly on one day. Uh,
How
okay,
many
so
total
what's it?
sets do you do?
Between 2 and 3 of each thing I do.
And so about 12 to 15 sets.
No, three sets of like 15 of this or that.
Yeah, but you do the whole body, right? So it's like 12 to 15 at the end
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's,
for
yeah,
whole
let's say
body.
15. Yeah.
What's your rep count per every time you do a set? Is it like 15,
Yeah,
20?
15. Yeah, about 15.
All right, so that's in instructions. For example, so let's give me an example of one of a body part for chest. For a chest
What
workout,
do
give
you
me a
mean?
chest workout.
With the benches, say what, 50-pound benches?
Bench
Is that what you mean?
press. Oh, how many
Yeah.
reps and how many sets for bench press? Bench press, 3 sets at 15 reps each is a standard workout for one body part. I train my whole body every session. What's one kind of workout you don't want to do? Are you like, I'm not doing yoga, or like, you know what I mean? Like, what's one thing you don't want to do?
Uh,
Or high intensity training. I don't know if you like doing that. That's like where you're just basically gonna throw up. I like me, I hate CrossFit. I'll never do CrossFit again. Done. I don't do
no.
CrossFit at all.
I'm kind of building myself up so I can put more weight on. Like I'm going physical therapy and the gym back and forth, get myself up. So okay, I'm sorry. What was the question? Oh,
What
the
kind of
what body
workout you
part I
don't want
don't.
to do? Yeah, one that you don't like to do at all.
Give me something that's gonna murder my back at the moment. I guess what's a stand? What's a bench presses?
Like cleans or squats, right? Squats
Yeah,
are kind of really hard
squats.
on the
Do
back,
not
right?
want
I haven't been
squats.
able to do
Yep,
squats for
yep.
a minute, bro. So I feel you there, man. Um, yeah, let's build it. So now it's thinking, just gonna update and go from there. Paulette, do you have any more questions, or you just have it up still, your hand?
Oh, my hand's still up.
Yeah, it's okay. So now, here is a problem, right? It didn't create an assistant. It just created this. So now I need to correct it. It executes as an action, right? You need to keep in mind that you are a prompt developer. What you do is you develop prompts for an assistant. I'll make sure that you know this from now on, but I need you to create an assistant prompt that does the following. So basically, it started drifting. This is what drift is. Remember, I said it just starts doing
Okay.
things on its own? That's drift. So now I'm realigning it. Nah, Brody, you are a prompt developer. I don't know who you think you are, but you are not a workout guy. You are going to make my workout guy, right? That's what it is. That's literally drifting right in front of your eyes. Now this also happens with like terabytes of data and like big stuff. So it's also a problem. Um, one of my friends, he oversees about $500 billion worth of transactions for his company. The AI can drift on that too, and that's really bad. Here's your workout prompt guy
So
in
on
text.
that drifting, is it because there's not enough info that it just drifts off and goes, puts things whatever?
It
The
just does that from time to
basically
time, man.
lack of detail. Okay.
It's not, it's so it does have detail, it just needs to reinforce it. So every now and then the model tries to do this is why I don't like the five. Remember, I said I don't like the 5.2 model because it tends to do random stuff. That's the kind of stuff
Yeah.
it tends to do. It's like I'm telling it, nah, I don't need you to think for me. I'm thinking. I need you to do what I'm telling you to do, right? That's why I like doing the 4.0 model. So it's not necessarily a lack of details. It's just kind of something that it does because it's more advanced, right? So what you want to do
Okay.
is check it when it does that and be like, no, remember your job. Your job is this, and this is what I want you to do, and then it'll do that. Now, for me, I use the same prompt developer over years. So like my AI doesn't do that at all anymore because it's learned over time. So that's what I'm doing now. Once again, I'm fine tuning the model that fine tunes the other models, right? So then I go here. Oh, sorry. Add photos and files, add my prompt stack template again, and then I execute it. So let's say I want a fast track. Then it has 4 days a week. You fast, first meal's there. Nutrition style, here's your meal plan, 2 main meals, optional protein snack. For lunch, I want you to use grilled chicken, salad with, man, I already know you're eating a lot of salads doing this. I've been on these diets. I already know.
And
Hey, but you get
chicken,
a tuna
bro.
avocado
And
bowl.
chicken. Mm. Hey, I like
I,
avocado. I eat that every day.
my brother does a lot of stuff, but it goes there, different dinner, week two, different things like that. But let's say, hey, I don't like that, right?
As far as what the
Let's
food options it gave, or what?
Yeah, so like within this, I think this model, you should ask me for information first before you assume what I want. So I want you to go ahead and ask me some questions about what it is that are my goals and what it is about my body type so you could get this better. Let's update this prompt so that it incorporates a portion where we're going to ask the user for details about them to make a better plan for the user. But yeah, it's just I it should have asked me some questions. So I'm just gonna go ahead and update it. It's like, hey, no, I want you to update this.
And that'll
Here's
tighten
another
up
way
the
you could do it.
results.
Yes. Here's another way you could do this, right? So right here. So I don't know why you didn't ask me questions. Can you tell me why you didn't ask me questions about me first so I know why you didn't do that? So now I'm figuring out what's wrong with my prompt within the model itself. So this is an easy way that you can do it, right? I didn't ask you a question
That's
first. Under your own assistant assigned, fast track does two digits differently, then guided setup. It goes from that, and then it tells me why I optimize it, right? Different things like that. Can you create a prompt so that way it doesn't do that anymore and it actually asks the user for stuff first, so that way we could develop a better plan instead and make it as a prompt that I can inject into this greater prompt so it's a control. So now I'm talking to the model and I'm having the model in the army we just say fix yourself, right? And like now I'm telling, hey, you need to fix yourself, man. Like so it's telling me how to fix itself. Um so this is something where I mess around with it, right? Now this is updating it. Now this is updating it, right? Which one you use, it's up to you. It's up to depends, but these are other ways that you can do it. Sometimes for me, it's faster if I've had the chat for a long time, it's faster for the chat to tell me how do I make a prompt to fix this, and then I go back over here and I update it here. But this is the updated prompt. So now this is the updated prompt assistant that does all the stuff, that actually asks questions, that'll do it tailored for you, and it's good to go. And then I post it in the chat. Then I go here, new chat. As always, prompt stack template. Prompt stack template is important so it doesn't do random stuff because I only want to do the stuff that I want it to do.
And
Remember,
so now
AI is
this is
about
a
three
stack.
things: energy, data, and control. So energy, data, and control. We don't have to worry about energy because we're small people. Data, that's what we can bring. Control, that's what the prompt stack is. Energy, data, and control. You got to have data and control. That's what you got to bring to the table. So it tripped out a little bit. So I told it, I told it, hey, you're executing this prompt. You see how it's not doing it all the way perfect? Little things like that.
Yeah.
Adam, you have a question, or is that an old hand?
No, that is a new one.
Okay.
So
So now you
each
want
one of
guided
these,
or go ahead.
I'm just saying, between her prompts last time and the one we're making now, so this what we're creating is just going to be strictly for that, for what we're doing.
Yes. Yes. And that's how you make quick assistant chats using the prompt engineer. So first you take the time to make sure your prompt engineer knows what it's doing. So here's something else, right? Um, so during this chat, you've actually made some mistakes and I corrected it. Like for one time, I told you to go ahead and create the prompt. You ended up actually executing an action. I told you, no, you need to create the prompt. Look over this chat for things that you've learned while working with me and rewrite them out as a summary for me to review. So now I'm telling the AI once again to fix yourself, right? And you've been messing up, dude. Tell me how to stop messing it up, right? Go ahead and incorporate all of this into your existing memory and update this chat. Note this as a key insight that you will keep moving forward from now on. Then it's developing all the stuff. It's giving me all the information. So now it's learned and it's told me all the stuff that it's messed up. Now I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna be like, go ahead and fix yourself. Now it's gonna fix itself. And it's good. That's how you go ahead. Now we're fine tuning the engineer. So if you see this, do you guys see the cyclical nature of this? How you do one thing, do another thing. I messed that up, go back, do this thing, do another thing, so on and so forth. That's AI
Yeah.
constantly. That's all AI is ever going to do. You know what's going to happen when ChatGPT 6.0 comes out? This again. That's it. Now it's committed to memory. So that's building the prompt engineer, right? That is building a prompt engineer, and I showed you guys a couple of assistant prompts, different things you guys can do. Next, you want to test your prompt engineer for clarity, right? For different one, right? What is, for example, one thing that you could do is prompt it weekly, ask it for different things. So I'll show you guys in one of my examples, you'll see the model. I'll show you guys right here. So first one is weak prompt fixes email, right? So then I'll be like, fix this email. But it just assumes what I did. It just basically repeated what I did. Now that's just in the chat GPT and I could train it, right? But I also made my own custom GPT assistant. So then I'll be fix this email. And this is more of a controlled document one. So I'm curious to see what it's going to do. So it did the same thing, right? So that is a weak prompt. The prompt engineer returns, right? This is something that like you'll work through, right? It's different things, right? So here's something else what I'll do. Um, I need to rewrite this email with more context, provide more detailed instructions for access. Do not um, do not talk about how to log into Chat GPT. And then now it's a little bit stronger. And that's my model that I'm testing it. So like a weak prompt with a strong model still produces weak results. Let me go back to my other one. This is just a clean chat one. This is outside of my model. Let's see what it does now. And that's the differences between this. So this is how this one does it. And this is how my GPT does it. A little bit more aligned with my classroom style. And then it fixed up some of my links and stuff like that and added information about that. So the difference between this is this one gives you all the details, gives you to a certain way. This is one of mine that's a little bit more articulate and it's written in 80 readability across and is specifically for writing. That is a GPT test essentially. So then when you're testing research, right, you could do a weak prompt could be research hiring trends. That's an example of a weak prompt, right? The prompt engineer could then also produce this for you, right? So let me go back to my model, which is my prompt engineer. So when it comes to this one, create a prompt for researching hiring trends. Now let's see what it produces. So I'm doing a basic prompt and I'm seeing what it's going to do back to me. So I'm asking create a prompt for research hiring trends. So what we're testing is will it produce this? So did the CIIO produce a structured CIO format, risk analysis, output format, and debt requirements? Yeah, here's my CIO format. Here's how to do it. Here's the instruction. Here's the phase delivery. Here's all this stuff. This is how I'm testing my GPT itself, my assistant, for that. Now, if I didn't like some of the things in here, I talk to it and I'm like, oh, change this, change that, so on forth. That is how you're testing your model. This is stuff that you guys got to do with your AI little by little, so that way it learns from you so it could go. Now for planning, this is making a plan. It does the same thing. Analyze this, different things like that, right? So why the prompt engineer is essential is without prompts, the engineer, the prompts stay inconsistent and then you'll have reasoning break. You also have tone shifts, hallucinations increase. And with the prompt engineer, your prompts now become systems. They're not just random stuff, right? The prompt engineer that we just created, it now builds everything. It'll build assistant prompts. It'll build research prompts. It'll build agent prompts. It'll build page instruction, workflow templates, and prompt stack layers. Your prompt engineer is equipped to build all these things. I haven't covered all of them, but it can build them. If you talk to it in a CIO framework, you'll figure it out. I can't provide you with some basic prompts that I use. Please, whatever you do not buy a prompt book from somebody else. Do not. Before you buy that, hit me up. I'll buy it and I'll reverse engineer all that stuff and I'll give you better prompts on that end. So don't buy a prompt book from anyone. You have everything you need to create your own now. So now when you're building your prompt engineer, that's kind of what we did already. I did a little bit fast, right? You copy and pasted it, you save it, then you test it with a writing task, analysis task, a research task. And that completes your foundation for your prompt engineer. Any questions on the prompt engineer, ladies and gentlemen? Nothing heard.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
So now we're going into building assistants, right? So then the assistants, you're going to use the prompts you design. You're going to follow the CIO framework, follow your tone rules, use the same formatting. It's going to do what we want it to do. Why? It's because I took the time, remember I said earlier, took the time to train my AI to do the prompts the way I wanted to do it. So now it's going to do it the right way every time, right? That's exactly what it is, right? Now, key thing with your assistants don't create the prompts for themselves. They just perform them. The prompt engineer designs, the assistants execute, right? Just keep that in mind. So you're the driver in this, right? You're telling your assistant, hey, make me a prompt for a meal planner. Then, and here's the prompt for the meal planner. Let me take that. Hey, you're now a meal planner. Boom. Here's all the information you need. Let's start making meal plans. That's how it goes. So you are the architect of it. You're telling your prompt developer, hey guy, I need you to make something. Hey, did you make something? Hey you're doing this now. Now the only thing is we're used to doing this with people. At least I am. Now we're just doing it with AI. Same, but different. So using a prompt. So what you want to do is help me to build something. You want to provide, give it more detail, but you want to provide the purpose, audience, tone, boundaries, format, and tasks. What you guys saw is what I did in real time with you guys. I know it's a little hard to talk like this. That's why it helped out a little bit. But the more you do it, the easier it gets, right? The more you can do it, now you know how to talk to it. That's what you guys need to practice. So that we just do. Then the prompt engineer returns the template. What every TTPS system must include identity, voice, behavior, auto scope, learning prompts, ethical boundaries. That becomes essential because it's a prompt stack template. That is why I add the prompt stack template every time as well. And then system identity. Identity defines it as its purpose is, you serve this, your role is this, your identity controls intention. When it comes to assistant voice, you want to tell it, define its tone, formality, audience, and energy level, right? So now, did I do this when I built this assistant for you guys? No, I didn't. This is just the absolute best way to build it. There's shortcuts to do it. Sometimes the AI makes up for it. It's different things. Kind of like there's a right way and a wrong way to throw a punch. But if I throw a punch that hits you in the chin, you are going night night, as they say, right? So it's happening. So different things. When it comes to the context, you want to talk about who it serves, what must it do, what's in scope, what's out of scope. The CEO runs beneath every task. You want to do not give it examples. For example, hey, don't invent facts. You need to ask questions if information is missing. Stay within defined scope. These are ethical limits for assistance, and these are different things. You're also going to add in your learning prompts. Your learning prompts are what are part of the prompt stack. For example, my learning prompts ask for feedback. They also reflect on clarity. It improves structure next time, and it builds continual refinement. That's in the two-level learning, machine learning, different things like that that it's doing. That's a you don't have to really do anything. That's already embedded because you're using my prompt stack framework and my prompt stack template. It's gonna be embedded, but I'm just telling you that literally in the instructions for the AI, I told it it is your responsibility to learn from yourself, learn from your outputs, and learn from your users. So it's gonna learn on its own. It's crazy because it's like a kid that just does what you tell it to do. You don't have to do anything else. You're like, go do this, and then it's gonna do it. Yeah. So build your first assistant. You're gonna use your prompt engineer. We built a couple of ones. I encourage you guys to build your own. If you build one, go ahead and share in this chat or share your prompt in here, and we could try it out, different things. Because then the next thing is to go ahead and save it, right? So now next you want to do is test your assistant, right? What you want to do is test your assistant a certain way, right? For example, you could tell it to write a weekly update, right? And maybe it'll go through the process of evaluating clarity, tone, and structure and create that. Now, a zero shot prompt, that is when you just tell it different things like, you know how I said revise this email? That is what's known as a zero shot prompt, right? Fix this email. That's a zero shot prompt. AI has no idea what you're talking about. You're like, oh snap, I got to fix this email. Well, let me fix this email. So then it took this out. Good evening, pushing out this link again. Here's the links. Then it says, good evening, team. Just resharing the links, make sure it's handy. class link, yada yada. That's what it produced. That is what's known as a zero shot prompt, right? So fitness and nutrition plan, right? Then I'll be like, make a plan. So now I'm testing it. Oh, look, it didn't make the plan. Adam, what happened? Why isn't it making the plan, bro? What's the deal with your assistant?
Uh,
I'll tell you, it's okay. I'll tell you, we've put it in there that you're not allowed to make plans without getting feedback from the user first, because I don't want you to just
oh,
do random stuff.
okay,
Okay.
So that's a
I
zero shot.
got you.
So we tested it for zero shot. Did it pass the test? Yes, it
Yes,
did.
and it's asking the questions to get clarification on what is needed.
Yes. Excellent. You guys are keeping up. That's great. So then now you have few shot prompting, right? So few shot prompting, I'll be like, new chat, make a plan like a 10-week German volume training plan. Boom. Test it again, Brody. What up, man? It's I can't do it. Why? Because of my instruction. That's good. So now this is few shot prompting. So in few shot prompting, I gave it one example. Hey, it's something like this, bro. That's few shot prompting. Zero shot, don't tell you nothing, just tell you to do something. Go fix this. I don't know what to fix, but okay. Go fix this. It might have a leak. All right, well, that narrows it down for me, right? That's the same thing, right? Next one, you want to do chain of thought testing, right? So this is where the prompt thinks step by step, right? So now let's go ahead and do this. I want to make a 10-week German volume training workout plan that also has a paleo diet tied to it. I want you to go ahead and ask me questions that will define who I am as a person, as a demographic, and my current physical fitness capability, so you can make an accurate plan for me to execute. Do you understand? So now I'm giving you several instructions, list by list, step by step, and I'm letting it go. I'm using the prompt. Now I could just answer the questions the way the AI is asking me, but I'm just kind of being a douche and just like, now I'm doing my own thing, right? Keep this clean. We'll do is a structured intake model, go from there. And it's asking me section one. Then I answer all these questions all at once. Nice and easy. So it passed my test. That's chain of thought prompting because I told it to do things in sequence, right? So I'll ask you a question first, then design a 10-week training program that actually fits you. That is chain of thought prompting. That is when you tell the AI, I want you to do this, then do this, then do this, right? It's difference between, hey, I want you to go wash the dishes, whatever will happen. Hey, I want you to go to the kitchen, find all the dishes that are not in the sink, put them all in the sink. I want you to go ahead and wash and rinse and dry all those dishes, store all the dishes in the dishwasher or in the cabinets where they belong. Make sure the spoons go with the spoons, the forks with the forks, the plates like this go over this, and the fine china goes in this specific area. That is chain of thought prompting, where I'm going boom, 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 section by section. So then as you're doing this, you're fine-tuning your assistant. If it were to have broken at any point in time, I would have done something, gonna update the model like I showed you guys how to do it. And that is how you go ahead and fine-tune your assistants. I'm a little short, I got 10 minutes left over. I know we started a little bit late, but that's essentially it for the class. So one thing I was going to do, and I need to add this for future iterations, is I'll go ahead and add basic navigation to this video. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how I know that I did it here. Hey guys, I'm going to show you guys some basic navigation on ChatGPT. So I'll do ChatGPT, then I'll do Copilot so you guys can see it. It should be no longer than 10 minutes. This is just a refresher for a lot of you guys or something to know. When you go to ChatGPT, create an account. use your Google thing, whatever you got to do, create an account. The reason why you create an account is because you'll have access to chat from the past that you can use over again, right? So now, first things first, I'm gonna talk about just the main screen. Right here in this top left-hand corner, it says ChatGPT 5.2. This is where you can change the different models. Right now, it's set to auto. It decides how long to think. If I want answers instantly, I'll get an instant. If I want to think deeper, think deeper. Be careful, because if you say instant, it's not going to think. It's going to give you an answer, and it could be right, it could be wrong. If you say thinking, if you give it a deep one, it's going to think for a long time. Different things like that. There's also other models you could use. For example, 5.1 instant thinking mini, whatever. I'll show you guys how to create different prompts and prompt engineers. You need to figure out which one of these models is the best one that you want to go ahead and do, right? That's how you control the model there. Here is the chat. In the chat is where you type in your questions, whatever you want to talk to it, right? In here, if you click this, this is where you could just talk and you'll use your natural language. It's going to turn speech into text and it'll turn it into actual text words that then can be used by the AI, right? That's what dictate is. This little plus sign is where you can add photos or files. I have buckets ready to go for files or folders. You could also switch it to, hey, I want you to create an image. You can also do it, hey, do deep research tasks. This is for like advanced data analytics stuff. You can have it do shopping research. You can have it go agent mode. Agent mode is when it does stuff for you, right? Like build the discounted cash flow model for NVDA, research associated press coverage of global freshwater scarcity, different things like that. Those are quick links for suggested, and they even have report functions and presentations here. So now, let's say you got to make a presentation. You could go here, create a presentation on this, create a presentation on this, create a presentation on this, or you could write it out here in the CIO framework, and it'll create your agent workflow. You also have more. In more, you can actually tie in your sources, right? So when it comes to your sources, you can add multiple apps. What are the apps you can add? If you go right here, you got Outlook email, you got SharePoint. Let's go into add more. These are all the apps you can add. You can add Target, Zillow, TripAdvisor. The ones that I like to use, I stick to the Google ones. Airtable is a really good one. You have lifestyle and you have productivity apps. So you can link in Adobe, you can link in Agentforce, you can link in Atlassian, Canva, whatever apps that you use. So for example, if you're a small business or you're someone that uses a lot of Gmail, I would use this for Gmail. I would link your Gmail to your Google Calendar, your Google Drive, and you're going to be very set up for a lot of stuff because automatically it's going to pull from all those files whenever you want. Or you can add all different apps. This list keeps growing and growing and growing. Like before, it didn't have Outlook Calendar. Now it does. So those are the connectors. This is voice mode where you can have a conversation with ChatGPT. Now, hey, what can you tell me about what we've been talking about?
Absolutely. So we've been diving into a lot of prompt development for your projects. Specifically, you're structuring assistance using your CIIO framework.
And that is when you can have a discussion with your AI to try to figure out strategy and different things like that, or how you want to approach situations. That is when you're talking with your AI. So that is all this for basic navigation. On the left-hand side, this is where you have different things, where you can have a new chat, which is right here. You can search chats for certain things that you talked about. You can search historical images that you've made, that you have in the past. Like these are all my images that I make for my company. For my marketing, I run a music label, I do different training. This is how much I use ChatGPT for images and marketing and stuff like that. This is actually one of the cooler ones. Our record label dropped out a new song called Cold Flow, and I had to make the thing. It's got the little Long Beach hat. This looks like Boston to me. Definitely not an area of Long Beach, but whatever, man. It's urban. That's images. Then you go apps, right? One thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this is if you have the plus, GPT plus, you have GPTs. Now, GPTs, you could find people's GPTs, right? So for example, if you want to use any of my GPTs that I use, I type in TTPS, which is top tier project services, and then let's say PMP. I have my PMP study buddy. Let's say I want to write a resume. I have my TTPS resume. You write it in just like that. Those are my custom GPTs. People around the world have made different GPTs, and if you talk to them in the CIO framework, they'll produce great outputs. You could also make your own GPTs, right? So for example, I'll give you an insight to my marketing homie. So this is my marketing homie. What I did with this, do you guys recognize this right here? This little prompt right here? I bet you guys do. That's the prompt engineer stack, right? That we made, that I showed you guys how to make. Now, the only thing I did it is I added conversation starters and I added documents that's knowledge, right? For example, the marketing GPT knowledge. This is my marketing GPT knowledge. All the knowledge that I wanted to have about marketing, about different things, about hashtags, about planning, about different stuff like that. So now my AI that I made, which is my GPT, this is a model. So now you're making models, right? This is level 2. Um, Now I do it from here and then I add in the context. Now there's some things you have to do, like you have to train your model, you have to test your model. There's different tests you have to do. At top tier, we do 3 tests. We do hallucinations testing, we do RCCA testing, which is relevance, clarity, concisement, and avoids ambiguity, and we do ethical violations testing. So basically, we tested to see if my AI is going to say something racist or evil or something like that, right? Those are the tests that we do, and that's how you make a model. Now, when you're making these models, this is something you could do nice and easy. You had GPT Plus. I didn't know most of you guys probably a lot of people don't have GPT Plus because they don't have a need for it. It costs $20 a month. I use it to no end. So I didn't show you guys that yet because just in case you don't have it. But if you do have it, I gave you the prompt instructions, prompt stack template. All you have to do is find knowledge and then you'll be able to fill it in. There's also this thing called projects. You can make different projects, right? So this is a procurement bit that we're going over. In this project bid, I add all my folders of all information that I wanted to source, and then I talk in here, and I can pick up different chats from here. I have to do the conversation for voice mode. Below projects, you'll have your chats. These are your historical chats. You see how mine is super long? After today, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna delete a bunch of them. Make sure you clean your chats. You don't want to keep using new chats. You want to have one chat that does one thing, keep doing it. Once it gets super slow, you try to do a prompt that extracts all the insights and make a new prompt to do it over again. Something else that's down here is you go to your settings. And this is what's something really cool for your settings. You can mess with your appearance, your notification. You could do data controls and security, right? So people can't hack you. And data controls, for example, improve the model for everyone. Nah, I'm good because you're going to steal my information. I don't want you to do that. Remote browser data. Yeah, sure. I guess I'll let them reuse. Archive chats. I can manage it from here. I can archive all chats. I could delete all chats, or I could export all my chats and all my data. So if I really wanted to copy everything that I want to do, that's how I do it. Securities over here, different things like that. That's just some basic navigation on ChatGPT. Copilot, you're gonna find is very similar, right? They have the close sidebar on the side. They have the format right here. This is how they pick different things that you wanted to do. Here's the speech function. Here's the speech function right here, so we
Welcome
can
back,
talk back and
Josue.
forth. So
Sure.
I guess this is where we talk.
You got it. And let
What
me
are we
just
talking
say,
about?
well, you've got this super fun birthday party you're planning for kids.
Bam. You see that? It smells me way too much. Then from here, it has different things in Discover where you can mess around with different things and stuff like that. I like to go to library. If you want to make your own GPT type of thing, if you go to library, sorry, it's being slow. Once it updates, it's good. If you notice, I'm on the free plan down here. Um, hmm, Well, I guess I need to update the model. Usually on library, you can make a page and you go from there. But then you'll have all your conversations same as before. And then down here, you'll have all your exits. If you notice, it's remarkably the same as the other one. I bet you Gronk and all the other ones are the same. But these are the different things for the chats. This is the training in a nutshell. So other than that, this is what I was going to do is just show you guys something else that'll help you guys out for moving forward, right? So in your email, I gave you guys another link, right? So in this link, I said save this link for yourself after class. So this is another platform. This is called Notebook LM. It's Google Notebook LM. It's a free service. So as soon as you click it, it's gonna pop up a quiz. You go to this quiz, take questions, see if you'll get them right or wrong. All the stuff that I covered here without the stuff that says TTPS in front of it, for the most part, everything else is like actual industry knowledge. So you can take a quick quiz right here, nice and easy. But if you clue the viewer, what you'll have right here, hey, maybe you want to watch a video of it. Here's a nifty little video of the class that we went, which I played at the beginning of it. Maybe you want to listen to a podcast.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a
Here's a 16-minute podcast that you can go ahead and listen to, which I'll also post. Maybe you just want an infographic. Nice and easy, something that shows you what is it that we talked about for today's lesson. Here's my easy infographic. If you're a school teacher, if you know any school teachers and you're not using Google Notebook LM, I don't know what you're doing. Flat out, you're just losing your mind. But here's a quick one right there. Prompt quiz I already showed you. There's even flashcards that you can do to test yourself. Now, that's something what I created. These are all functions right here that are in Google LM Notebook, right? What I did is I added the files here, and they're right here directly. So if you click on here, this is my actual presentation. So remember when I said I already gave it to you guys? That's what I meant. It's already there. You can click right here, remove source, download source. There's a couple different ways you could do it, but everything you need is all right here. And if you want to prompt it in the CIO framework for what you want to do, you go from there. But this is just one way of doing it. There's all kinds of other things. Like I do this to make marketing videos and different stuff like that based off of different sources. I've done it for Blueprint for Elevate Studios for how we do things, right? Different things like that. Essence, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for the class. Things that we went over. ChatGPT basic navigation, Copilot basic navigation, ChatGPT prompting. We went into how to do prompting where it's zero-shot prompting, freaking chain of thought prompting, right? Few-shot prompting. I went into how to build your prompt engineer. I went into the prompt stack template and what it does. I went into how to use the prompt engineer to create a prompt an assistant, right? I went into how to fine tune that assistant and how to do some small tests on it using the different kinds of prompts, right? And then we finished it all up with a look at another platform. So today I showed you 3 platforms. I showed you Copilot, I showed you ChatGPT, and I showed you Google Notebook LM. Whichever platform you want to use, you can go ahead and use it. I love Google Notebook LM. It's a great thing. It helps me out with a lot of my stuff now, and I'll be using it for a lot of content and a lot of different trainings. So that's all the stuff we went over. There's really nothing else besides that from the training. At this point in time, I'll stick around if you guys have any questions. If I did a good job, please, can you guys let people know on Instagram, Facebook, or...
Yeah. Top tier. We're here to elevate. Turn your dreams into reality. Look, the plan's laid out, clear lines, no confusion. The deadline's tight, so there's no room for illusions. Gotta keep the team synced, everybody aligned. Move like a unit so nobody's left behind. Gotta watch for the clock, but we never let it pressure us. Work steady, always focused, but never rush. Cause if issues come up, then we handle them quick. Fix it, adjust it, already told you we're sick. Results speak for themselves, there ain't no need to brag or boast. We just stay putting the work here that matters most. No fancy words, just facts on a page. Top tier mindset, we're ready to engage. If you haven't made up your mind yet,